are set to go for our #1 contenders battle royal.
You gotta take your opponent, whomever it may be in this match, throw them over the top rope with both feet hitting the floor.
Chaos right now in the ring. Bodies all over the place.
Also, you gotta worry about who's coming to your left, who's coming to your right.
Eyes in the back of your head. Oh, hold on there. First elimination. Steve Cutler. There goes Danny Burch. Elias Sampson eliminated.
Who's just rolling here?
The big boot by Big Cass. Oh, there goes Big Cass.
Oh, wait a minute. All sorts of bodies being dumped out. Look at Enzo. My God.
Baron Corbin double-crossed Rhyno.
There are no friends in Battle Royal.
Oh! Here comes Joe. Huge kick. Chris Pretty eliminated. Samoa Joe over the top, able to hang on.
Come on. No.
It's perfectly legal. Breeze was already eliminated. What do you want the ref to do? Disqualify him?
It is down to the final two, Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews.
They have to be exhausted. I mean, they've given it their all.
Crews over the top, able to hang on again. Apollo Crews with a surge of energy.
One kick, two kicks, a third.
Clothesline. Crews is your new #1 contender.
Apollo Crews stayed the course, and that course has now awarded him an opportunity to challenge for the NXT Championship.
Welcome here to Full Sail University, and what an event we saw last week. The Battle Royal to name the #1 contender. What a performance by Apollo Crews.
Apollo Crews came here to be a champion. He's one match away from accomplishing that goal.
Is a Divas match scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Osaka, Japan, Asuka.
What a debut it was for Asuka 2 weeks ago at TakeOver Respect. Oh, Dana Brooke, we don't know if Dana really knew what she was getting herself into when she crashed the signing of Asuka, and certainly Dana paid for her transgressions, didn't she, Byron?
I gave Dana Brooke the benefit of the doubt that maybe she had prepared, but there was no preparation for Asuka. Asuka made a mark and left a mark on Dana Brooke.
Asuka came in highly touted as one of the most dangerous strikers in all of wrestling. She did not disappoint.
So Dana Brooke last week, she had no clue where she was.
From Sydney, Australia, Billy Kay.
This is not the first time that Billy Kay has been in the ring with Asuka.
My name is Billy Kay, and tonight I compete against NXT's newest sensation, Asuka. Now, I've faced Asuka in the past, and she's an amazing competitor. But I too have wrestled all over the world, and I've got the longest legs in NXT, and I will boot anybody that stands in my way.
Confident words from Billy Kay. She gets set for her biggest challenge to date since arriving here at NXT in this match against Asuka.
Look at the smile, offering up her hand. It's like she's goading Billy Kay in.
Yeah, if I were Billy Kay, I'd go find a bed to hide under.
Wow, Billy Kay was well prepared for that. Wow.
What a kick. Cover, hooks the leg, trying to put away Asuka, kick out.
Maybe the mystique of Asuka doesn't affect Billy Kay. She's been in the ring with her before. She obviously knows how to prepare for her.
We saw Asuka a couple weeks ago against Dana Brooke extend her hand in what we thought was a sign of sportsmanship. Dana didn't take it. Billie Kay not taking it here.
Yeah, Billie Kay, I tell you what, this is maybe a case of just facing your fears. Not backing down. Going full speed ahead. Right now it's working for Billie Kay.
Beautiful suplex.
The power of Billie Kay just holding her up there.
Wow. Impressive strength. Great suplex. Cover. Billie Kay trying to put away Asuka. Kick out of 2.
Notice after the kick out, Billie Kay never let go of her grasp on Asuka. She stayed on that arm, she held onto the wrist, and working into a submission hold.
I'm kind of surprised right now at really the full control that Billie Kay is displaying here against Asuka.
Asuka trying to fight back to her feet. Billie Kay doing a fantastic job, or at least up until that point, of neutralizing her opponent. Uh-oh. How? Oh my goodness.
Asuka almost knocked herself over.
Well, we're starting to see a taste of what Asuka showed us at TakeOver.
Oh, Billie able to grab hold of the leg, connects with a nasty forearm.
Gotta be impressed with the way Billie Kay is handling herself.
That might have rocked Asuka.
Or maybe not.
How frightening
When you
is that smile when you see, oh man.
my gosh.
Oh.
When you've just given your opponent your best shot and she smiles at you, it's embarrassing, it's terrifying, and it's obviously effective because Asuka's in full control.
Submission specialist. Had the arm bar locked in. German suplex.
This is not good for Billie Kay. Oh, man.
Look at Asuka, it's like she's stalking her prey.
Afflictive striking style.
There's that smile again. That's extremely unnerving.
Imagine how Billie Kay feels.
You've seen this before.
Billie somehow trying to fight it, but Asuka slowly but surely bringing Billie Kay down.
Asuka's got those hooks in.
The body scissors, crossface, chicken wing combo. She calls it the Asuka lock. And Billie Kay forced to submit.
Here's your winner by submission, Asuka.
Tell you what, that's a fine example of why all the curiosity that has surrounded Asuka has now turned into a very strong feeling of uneasiness amongst the NXT Divas.
Billie Kay seemed to be on a roll, but
Watch this.
Yeah, Billie Kay brought it, but watch Asuka's face here. It's almost like a wake-up call for Asuka, who would strike.
right into the cross armbar. Watch here, textbook German suplex.
So many different offensive weapons that Asuka utilizes to put you down.
This is just the same result as we saw at TakeOver. That crossface chicken wing locked in deep. Billie Kay had no choice but to tap out.
Asuka certainly impressive here in her first two matches here at NXT. We'd like to welcome you once again to ringside. Rich Brennan alongside Byron Saxton and Corey Graves. And last week during that #1 Contenders Battle Royal, Byron, we saw an interesting alliance that split apart.
Yeah, we saw Rhyno and Baron Corbin team up during the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. We knew it was going to be a temporary alliance, and last week it came to an abrupt end.
It came to an abrupt end, but tonight in our main event, once again, these two monsters go head-to-head. It's the man-beast Rhyno versus the lone wolf Baron Corbin right here on NXT. Right now, let's take a very special look at Baron Corbin.
What makes Baron Corbin tick? It's seeing the hopes and dreams of the NXT superstars and taking them away. There's two types of people in this world. People like me and people like you. The rules don't apply to me. And if in breaking those rules, it makes a few people miserable, then that's their problem. You can't fight fate.
Oh, you don't want to miss Baron Corbin and Rhyno in our main event later tonight. But up next, Dash Wilder and Scott Dawson promise to make an example out of Enzo Amore in Big Cass. But if you know anything about Enzo and Cass, they're always ready for a fight. That tag team matchup is next.
Brock Lesnar is the one! The conqueror of The Undertaker's undefeated streak at WrestleMania! My true resurrection. You can't kill what won't die. Undertaker has beaten Lesnar!
WWE Hell in a Cell this Sunday, live only on WWE Network.
Hello, Joe. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I rain on your little parade? Because you went to TakeOver and you won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic? Do you think that that gives you the right to just go on, win the Battle Royal, become #1 contender, and be the new NXT champion? Because think about this, Joe. If I'm not #1 contender, you're not #1 contender. If you've got a problem with that, and you want some more of this, well then how about you come and find Prince Pretty, and I'd be more than happy to slice off a couple pieces of bacon off you. Thank you.
You soft, you slop. They call me pop. I'm rolling and dancing, riding around, beat up July. Balls from the car, but they are just not. I'm up in the club, stacking them dubs and stuff. My name is Enzo Amore. I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Big Cass. And he's 7 foot tall, and you can't teach that. And this right here, this is Carmella, and she's hot as hell, and you can't teach that. Bada boom, realest guys in the room, how you doing?
How you doing?
I'm terrible. Every time Enzo Amore shows up, all I can think about is a cat that fell in a bathtub. Look at that hair. It's embarrassing.
A cat that fell in a bathtub?
Look, tell me I'm wrong.
What kind of life do you live?
Let's talk about Carmella.
What about her?
I don't care, just anything about her.
You know, Big Cass, Halloween's right around the corner. And if you're coming down to this ring with us in it, you're knocking on the wrong door. You should have left your pillow in your pillowcase, because we ain't handing out trick-or-treatings. We're handing out beatings. Because there's only one word to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you. S-A-W.
Graves, even you have to be impressed with that rhyme by Enzo.
That wasn't even a rhyme. That was forcing words to sort of sound like each other.
I guess I gotta skip the Amore Cass house on Halloween.
The following contest is a tag team match scheduled for one fall. And their opponents at a combined weight of 446 pounds, Scott
won by Dash and Dawson in the Dusty Classic. So that they consider themselves the new #1 contenders. The NXT Tag Team Championships, they promised to dissect the Vaudevillains, and they said last week, watch what we do to Enzo and Cass in this matchup.
Well, these two have really been the quiet storm of the tag team division, slowly inching themselves towards the spotlight.
Graves, I know that you've been a fan of Dash and Dawson for quite a while. You actually thought that they might go all the way in the Dusty Classic.
And they almost did. There were several times they came up just short of defeating Finn Balor and Samoa Joe.
See that blow by Dawson just almost knocked Enzo out.
But Enzo's channeling his inner Pebbles Flintstone with that hair.
Oh, wow. There's that chop block to the knee, which is exactly what Dawson did to Finn Balor.
You got to say that maybe Dash and Dawson came out of TakeOver with a moral victory. They know the damage they inflicted on Finn Balor. They're looking to do the same thing to Enzo Amore. These two guys isolate and they destroy.
Goes back to the point you brought up earlier, Rich. These two believe, Dawson and Wilder, that they should be the tag team champions. They're using that anger and aggression to take it out on Enzo Amore right here. Oh my goodness.
They said that they would pick apart their opponents.
Nothing fancy, just effective.
No flips, just fists.
Hashtag.
There you go, Scott.
Chop block into the dragon screw, and now just everything focused on the left knee of Enzo Amore.
Got that ring cut in half. Enzo's in a world of trouble right now.
Also to Wilder, upended the NXT Tag Champs, the Vaudevillains, to reach the semifinals of the Dusty Classic. As we said, lost to the eventual champions, but left Finn Balor limping. Gonna leave Enzo Amore limping after this one.
Oh! Right back into it. Great strategy by Dawson.
The style of Dawson and Wilder, it's nasty. It's rough around the edges.
Enzo fighting back. Doing whatever he can.
Enzo's scrappy, man. He's not going to stop.
You talk about nasty. Dawson just grabbing the ear of Enzo. You're not going to win a match like that. It just hurts. Yeah, it's just insulting.
Nothing's off limits for Dawson.
And here comes Big Cass to break the hold.
You know Cass was sensing that Enzo was fading there. Oh!
Dawson making Cass pay for it.
Oh,
hold on, Enzo, small package. Shoulders are down.
You gotta be
That's
kidding
it.
me.
Enzo and Cass have won.
Hey, there's some teamwork.
Here are your winners.
Oh!
Now Dawson and Wilder laying into Enzo. Here comes Cass.
Cass trying to do whatever he can to save his partner.
He's going to have to do more because Dawson and Wilder are like a couple of pit bulls just attacking. Look at them breaking down Big Cass.
This is scary. Dawson and Wilder. Same onslaught they gave to Enzo Amore. Now completely trying to dismantle Big Cass.
They're sending a message to the Vaudevillains, to the entire NXT Tag Team division.
They're doing exactly what they said they would do to Enzo and Cass. They told the Vaudevillains to watch. Watch how we pick apart Enzo and Cass tonight.
Come on. Enough is enough.
Oh man, what an impact. What teamwork. And what a message sent to the NXT Tag Team Champs.
They might not have won the match, but they definitely won this fight. Look at Enzo Amore. His knee is wrecked. Big Cass has absolutely been dominated.
An insult to injury. Dawson stepping right on the fallen Enzo Amore. I mean, have you ever seen Cass and Enzo laid out like this?
No, not at all. Dawson Wilder, if their objective here was to get people talking, to raise eyebrows and turn heads, well, they've accomplished that goal.
Picking up an almost 7-footer and driving him down like that. I mean, that's impressive. I don't care who you are.
Dawson and Wilder promised to pick apart Enzo and Cass, and they delivered.
But if you're looking for a good old-fashioned knockdown, drag-out fight, you're not going to want to miss the main event tonight as two of NXT's biggest and baddest lock horns. It's Rhyno, Corbin. Let's take a special look at the Man Beast.
What is going on? The man beast is in the Full Sail Arena.
Rhyno, a former U.S. champion, a three-time hardcore champion, former ECW champion.
What is Rhyno doing in NXT?
Why am I here? Everywhere I go, I hear about NXT. So if you want to make a statement,
Can you feel him up?
Gore! You go to a place like NXT. I've been fighting my whole life. And I have gored through all my opponents. Nobody can stop me.
Your luck just ran out.
And nobody will stop me. You're gonna be screaming my name. That's the last thing you'll think of. My name, Rhyno. Rhyno. And I'm here to climb to the top. I'm gonna do that by ripping people in half with a gore.
Struggling to make things right. That's how a superhero learns to fly.
Hello everyone, I'm still on vacay in Paris, soaking up the amazing culture. You know what I'm talking about. Well, maybe you don't. But I wanted to give you all a present, me. I really hope you all miss me because I miss you. So hopefully you don't forget about me. See you guys soon.
You're gonna miss Eva Marie, aren't you?
I've already been missing her.
WWE and Susan G. Komen are partnering to help fight breast cancer and save women's lives. WWE is going pink in honor of National Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Go to Komen.org/WWE to learn how you can join the fight against breast cancer.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from London, England, weighing in at 220 pounds, Danny Burch.
No, come to think of it, Byron, I wish you'd go to Paris. Like now. Sorry, I'm busy. I mean, we can handle this. You were on assignment for a while. It's the best couple weeks of my life.
What's this Wii stuff?
Leave me alone, Millhouse.
In this day and time,
Coming up, Millhouse.
ain't no one as strong as time. And I waited in the longest line for the longest time. Now this moment's
What's this? What?
Whoa!
And his opponent from Louisville, Fort Tennessee, weighing in at 237 pounds, James Storm.
Well, we heard Mr. Regal was out wheeling and dealing. Obviously, did another huge signing.
I can honestly say I never expected to see James Storm in an NXT ring.
Gentlemen, the stakes just got raised on NXT.
James Storm, Byron, started out way back at WCW and spent the last 15 years or so on the independent circuit. And a fantastic tag team wrestler and a fantastic singles wrestler.
Now, Storm is a guy who has mastered the art of career longevity, and he's evolved over time. And I'll tell you what, he's only gotten better.
He's also a master of punching you in the face and enjoying a nice cold beverage afterward.
Tremendous ovation.
This is big, guys. This is really big.
Danny Burch.
Listen to the NXT Universe.
Saying you belong here.
I'm talking about the signings we've seen. Guys like Samoa Joe, Rhyno. James Storm fits right in that conversation. This is a game changer on NXT.
These guys held championships all over the globe, and he came to NXT, obviously, for the same reason.
Danny Burch trying to ruin the debut.
Oh, Danny Burch, you can't have any trepidation over the the main value of James Storm. You got to bring the fight to him as he is right now.
Cover. Birch trying to put away James Storm. Still can't get over him. We're saying his name on NXT.
You could be calling the defeat of James Storm here. Danny Burch is as tough as they come. He likes to throw hands. You know, he can get it done inside the ring. And that would skyrocket his career to spoil the debut of James Storm in NXT. Man.
Oh! Storm is rough and tumble as they come.
You kind of alluded to it earlier, Corey. He likes to hunt, fish, and brawl, and not necessarily in that order.
Oh, wow! Storm, oh, man! You know James Storm, you know what's coming. Wow, wow. 8-second ride.
Here's your winner, James Storm.
Tell you what, we learned two things here. Once again, NXT is a place to be. Everybody wants to compete in that ring. And number two, every other competitor on NXT has just been put on notice.
Surprise of all surprises here this week on NXT. James Storm making his debut.
I like it. I like it a lot. Oh, see the Storm showing some that agility and quickness that's brought him so much success here. And that was the beginning of the end.
There you see it, the 8-second ride. Welcome to NXT, James Storm. Sorry about your damn luck!
What an impressive debut here for James Storm, who's no doubt looking to make a huge impression on the NXT Universe. Speaking of making an impression, in 2 weeks, Apollo Crews looks to make the impression of a lifetime when he challenges Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. And as Apollo's championship opportunity looms ahead, we get a chance to sit down with the #1 contender to find out more about the leader of the Apollo Nation.
It takes guts to chase a dream. You can fall on your face, you know, you can completely fail. And I think that's what I fear most is failing. You dream of a certain moment, you know, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna get there. And then you get to that point of reaching your dream and it just doesn't feel real, you know, even though you've dreamt about it your whole life. It's hard to explain. My family's is really different. I'm first generation American. My parents are both from Nigeria. My dad came over here in 1983. He's with the United Nations, so he traveled a lot. So grew up all over the place. We moved from California to Atlanta, stayed there till I was about 6. Moved to Kenya and then Uganda for the next 8 years or so. Age of 10, my parents separated. We were living with my dad in Uganda at the time, and my mom took my little sister with her back to Atlanta. So we'd fly over in the summer, stay with her for the summer, a couple weeks, 1-bedroom apartment, with 5 of us in there, and then fly back, go to school. At that point in time, that was the worst thing that could have ever happened to me. And I don't look back on that time that period of time when going through that and see something I could smile about, but I did take some away from that as far as making myself a tougher person, I guess. My dad, he was watching wrestling, and I was just wandering around being a little kid, and I came up and sat with him, and ever since that day, I was addicted to it. I wanted to watch it. I felt like they were reaching out to me at home. And I was just like, man, these guys are larger than life. Ultimate Warrior was he was one of the first ones I saw, and his energy was just through the roof. I felt like he'd get any kid to like him.
You spoke to me! You spoke to me! All of you spoke to me!
I remember times like we'd go in, and I'm always a wrestling fan, so I'd see like those little championship belts they'd have. Oh, Mom, can I get this belt? And she's like trying to get us groceries with the little money that she has. Because when she left my dad, her finances weren't as good as my father's. You know, she didn't finish school and stuff like that, so she struggled really. Works hard this time. She's working like 3 jobs, trying to feed us, and I'm like wanting this toy. And she's like, I don't have any money for that today. I'd throw a fit and go just sit and wait at the car, you know, outside till she came out. You know, and like she'd have the belt when she came out, you know, and I was just like, man, I look back on that kind of stuff and I feel like such a spoiled kid. Oh, my mom, man, she's a great woman, you know, just, you know, just, it makes me tear up at now, you know. Yeah, she struggled though, but, you know, she's a great woman. I don't even know, I'm crying. You know, I kept watching wrestling over those years. I don't think it was till like 10th grade that I actually decided I might actually try and do this. The rest is history, I guess you could say.
This is what I was born to do. God put me here for this reason. This is what I love.
I didn't know anything about the indies when I first started wrestling. It was just all WWE for me. Not knowing that it takes years, and sometimes people don't even make it. I remember driving 2 hours for $5, you know, and driving 14 hours for $50. But I've never committed myself to something or dedicated myself to something or shown so much passion for something until I started wrestling. My father, where he's from, chasing your dreams or chasing a dream like this doesn't exist. He was totally against it when I first started, but it wasn't something he could stop me from doing. And I think he was kind of like, okay, I'll let him go have fun. And he's gonna realize like, my dad was right. But I don't want anybody to be able to tell me, I told you should have done this. You know, I told you not to do that. At first I was motivated by the fact that I wanted to prove him wrong. And then I just became motivated.
Too easy, baby. Too easy.
You know, I set out a goal and I worked my ass off, and I'm living proof that if you have a dream and you want to chase it, you can accomplish whatever you set out to do. I came to be champion. I came to be the best. And that's just it.
I can beat anyone right now, no matter who it is.
Nobody in the world gets this opportunity.
Nobody's guaranteed anything here.
I've beat every person in this room.
It's not a job, it's a lifestyle.
I am a force that cannot be stopped. Greatness is my destiny, and my path to get there has just begun.
Finally, Nia Jax is here. My goodness.
Nia Jax was unfazed, dominating at will.
Raw power.
Oh! Nia Jax just upped the ante.
I am Nia Jax.
If you missed Nia Jax last week, make sure you don't miss her next week. She returns to action. And also, we have part 2 of this special look at Apollo Crews as he prepares to do battle with Finn Balor for the NXT Championship.
Well, here's the celebration spoiler.
The following contest is a Divas match scheduled for one fall. Introducing first from Columbus, Ohio,
figure she's a spoiler. She came out here, she sent a very loud and clear message to Bayley. That's what comes with the territory. Bayley is the NXT Women's Champion. That's what happens when you're the champion.
Corey, women's champion or not, I don't think Bayley deserved to be disrespected last week by Alexa Bliss. Regardless, we do want to remind everyone that this weekend NXT Live takes over the 2015 Aftershock Music Festival in Sacramento, California. Don't miss all of your favorite NXT superstars live in person as NXT hits the road yet again. For more info, make sure to check out WWE.com. Alexa Bliss trying to cement herself as the next in line for a title opportunity. The NXT Women's Championship. Can Peyton Royce throw a wrench into those plans?
Here's the thing, you earned that opportunity, okay? Getting an opportunity to challenge for the NXT Women's Championship doesn't happen just because you come out and tell someone they don't deserve to be the champion.
Yeah, it can. There was a guy called Kevin Owens who walked in the door, and a few months later, he was NXT champion.
Well, he's just a model citizen, isn't he?
Listen, I don't know what you two have against Blake Murphy and Alexa, but it's been effective. You can't argue. They were the NXT Tag Team Champions. Now Bliss, she wants to join the party. She wants some gold of her own.
Peyton Royce trying to put away Alexa Bliss.
Better start worrying about Peyton Royce and worrying about whether or not you deserve a shot at the Women's Championship.
Well, if she beats Peyton Royce, whoa,
Back into the cover.
Big if.
See Blake and Murphy on the outside and how invested they are in the outcome of this match.
Two cheerleaders on the outside for Alexa.
How dare you call them cheerleaders?
It's
The former tag
shoe on the other foot, isn't it?
Yeah, we all know Alexa calls the shots for those two.
That's humiliating.
That's Alexa Bliss. That's what she's all about.
Alexa used to be so nice to talk to, so friendly.
Yeah, you know what? The thing is, though, Rich, Bliss is good, but bad is better. That's the mindset she's living with right now. She's doing what she's got to do to succeed.
You see Alexa Bliss as a formidable opponent to Bayley?
Oh, why not?
Man, this is stepping right on the face of Peyton Royce. Oh my God!
Look. Adding some new moves to the arsenal. You're a broadcast journalist, Rich. Why don't you go ask Blake and Murphy if Alexa's worth a title shot? Why don't you go ask them what they think? Or what dare you?
I already know what they're going to say. I'm asking your opinion as an impartial viewer.
Well, as a realist, yes, I think she deserves it.
Why does she deserve it?
I don't need to explain myself.
You don't have a reason.
Isn't that why you're out here?
You don't have a reason, okay? The only thing you like is the fact that she comes out here and tries to belittle Bayley, so you think all of a sudden, oh, Alexa Bliss should be next in line. That's true.
Here's a novel concept. Why don't you two clowns just call the match?
Here's a novel concept. Why don't you just go away?
Let's get back to the match here. Calm down, take a breath.
I didn't mean that. I'm sorry.
Peyton Royce trying to get back to her feet. Alexa Bliss did a nice job targeting the left arm. Wow! Peyton Royce, a huge kick and now a huge drop kick.
We've seen it before. She likes to use those kicks, those long legs. She says she's got legs for days, and it's kind of hard to argue with.
Oh, man! Cover! Peyton Royce trying to put away Alexa Bliss in a kick out.
A big opportunity on tap for Peyton Royce. Win this match. Maybe she can enter the conversation for the Women's Championship.
No, because the way you two think, just winning once in a while isn't good enough to be a champion here.
What are you talking about?
I wish you two would pay half as much attention to what you say as I do.
That nasty, aggressive side of Alexa.
Almost like she's disgusted by Peyton Royce.
Oh, man. Double knees right to the abdomen.
Glitz flip. Sparkle splash on the way, perhaps. Let's see. Alexa to the top rope. Sparkle splash connects.
Perfect.
What intensity on the part of Alexa Bliss.
I think this is the part of the night where you guys apologize and admit that you're wrong. Because
about what?
About Alexa Bliss. She just proved she is absolutely capable. She's deserving of a title shot at Bayley.
Let's take another look how this match wound up after a pretty good run by Peyton Royce. Alexa Bliss quickly turned things around.
Well, Bliss was impressive. She knew she knew she had to be impressive tonight, and she delivered on her words right here, putting away Peyton Royce. One more look. Watch the height and watch the impact. Wow.
1, 2, 3.
I just wanted to say again, congratulations to Bayley. You've accomplished so much with so little. You've become a role model, an inspiration. But that's about to stop. Because I am what everybody strives to be. You know it's true. And I was made to be NXT Women's Champion.
She's a humble one, isn't she? You don't have to be humble when you're good. Speaking of being good, two of NXT's biggest, baddest, and best are about to lock horns once again. There you see the tail of the tape. It's the Lone Wolf and the Man Beast. It's your main event, and it's coming up next.
To see WrestleMania live and in person, you need these. And to get those, you'll need to know this. The biggest event in 2016 is coming to Dallas. We're going bigger, bolder, and getting louder. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Tickets available Friday, November 6th. Go to WrestleMania.com for more information.
Here's what I'm looking forward to. One-on-one, Tyler Breeze takes on the man who, well, he stole the opportunity of to become the #1 contender for the NXT Championship, Samoa Joe.
This is gonna be a battle, guys. You talk about a grudge match. I can't wait for this.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Kansas City, weighing in at 275 pounds, Baron Corbin.
Corbin and his opponent tonight, Rhyno, nearly won the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. They came together as a team in a way that, quite frankly, we weren't sure they could do. They were so close to taking home that inaugural cup.
Yeah, we knew eventually things would come crashing down, and they did in a hurry. Quite frankly, you're right, Rich. I'm on board with you. I cannot wait to see these two tear each other apart.
And his opponent from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 290 pounds, Rhyno.
Rhyno saying that before that Battle Royal last week, he wanted to be the first man to hold both the original ECW and NXT Championship. Baron Corbin denied him that opportunity.
Listen, that's the point of a Battle Royal. It's not to go out there and make friends and hang out with guys because you had a good run with them. It's about winning. Baron Corbin wanted to win the same as he does anytime you see him in the ring.
Think about the battle that these two had at TakeOver Unstoppable in May. There's a ton of respect that was built in that matchup.
these two respect each other for the same reason. They give it their all. They win at all costs. There shouldn't be bad blood here. This is the same. They're both out there fighting for the same reason, to be the best.
They're respectfully going to beat each other up tonight.
I'm sure they will. I can't wait to see it.
Two powerhouses here this week on NXT. In our main event.
Smart maneuver by Corbin. Referee unable to see, trying to separate things and taking advantage of the situation.
Going back to that match, TakeOver Unstoppable. It was Corbin who won the matchup with the end of days. I think that Rhyno has maybe gone back to the drawing board. Maybe he's teaming with Baron Corbin. He's found some weaknesses.
Potentially, but in the same point, how much has Baron Corbin improved while teaming with a veteran like Rhyno?
You gotta remember something. These two, they never liked each other. In fact, you could say they were almost salivating at the thought. Every single week they were teaming up together, salivating at the idea and the chance to once again do this. And that's hurt the other guy.
Corbin trying to take a breather. Rhyno right on top of him. A true heavyweight battle here in our main event on NXT.
Like a monster truck colliding with a bulldozer.
Rhyno just trying to lace those shots into Corbin.
Corbin hanging on. It's a smart move.
Again, trying to catch his breath.
Right, Rhino's right there after him.
Corbin bought himself a few seconds, let him catch his breath, regroup a little bit.
Oh! Maybe Corbin was playing possum a little bit. You knew this wasn't going to be pretty.
I don't think anyone was expecting a technical masterpiece out of these two.
Yes. Watch out here, referee up to 5 count.
Oh! Launch right into the steel ring steps.
7.
Baron Corbin in control, going back in the ring.
Rhino's got to get in the ring.
Can Rhyno get up? Can he get back in the ring? Yes, finally able to break the count. And Corbin continues the attack.
And how much damage has already been done? Can Rhyno come back?
Live and in living color. Let's talk about the match. So, are you doing that in the ring? You have a very interesting story. But whose idea was it to film that? Get away from the grind of the travel. Are you just harsh on yourself? Talk about how you got into the business. You signed with WWE. So they think you're mad out of traveling all over the world. I got a serious question for you. How'd you feel about it? How was the adjustment to normal life? I got to do this. Talk to me. How'd you end up where you at?
The next stop on Brock Lesnar's Go to Hell tour is one-on-one with a Texas rattlesnake. The Stone Cold Podcast with special guest, the Beast, Brock Lesnar. Watch anytime on demand, only on WWE Network. A driven champion now faces an uncertain future.
To be the man around here, Kane trying to drag Seth into his own personal hell. You have to face your demons. Seth Rollins is going to rue the day.
Seth's worst nightmare is coming true.
The Demon Kane, the champ Seth Rollins, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. WWE Hell in a Cell.
We're back. Baron Corbin manhandling Rhyno, launching him into the turnbuckle.
There aren't too many human beings on the planet that you can say that about. They can manhandle the man-beast. Baron Corbin is definitely one of them. And look at him talking a little trash while he's at it.
Yeah, well, watch this again. What's the velocity? Rhyno hits that turnbuckle, courtesy of Baron Corbin.
Corbin continues to work on the man-beast.
Hey, out of the corner, let's go.
Continues to talk trash.
Yeah.
What kind of damage is Corbin doing to Rhyno right now?
Well, enough to where Baron Corbin feels like he's got time to gloat about it.
Is it a smart thing to do in the ring, to gloat when you're in there with Rhyno?
I mean, I don't know. Baron Corbin seems to be in firm control right now. He doesn't look like he's in too much danger. Why not enjoy the fruits of his labor?
Baron Corbin can't forget who he's in there with. You're in there with Rhyno, former ECW world champion. Man, he's had a 20-year career of success.
Corey, you mentioned something before. You almost think that Rhyno expected this, especially coming from that Battle Royal?
As long as Rhino's been around, he should have known it was coming. It was a matter of time. Rhyno probably would have done the same thing to Corbin, given the opportunity.
At any rate, Corbin struck first, denying Rhyno the opportunity to face Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. He's led to this main event here tonight. Corbin and Rhyno, and this has been exactly what we expected. Not a technical battle, but a heavyweight brawl.
Yeah, and you wonder during the weeks that these two were teaming up, what did they learn about each other that maybe they didn't know before when they competed? You know, what kind of weaknesses were exposed as they talked over strategy?
Speaking of strategy, this is a good one by Corbin, just keeping Rhyno grounded, grinding away.
Graves, knowing Baron Corbin, what kind of weaknesses does Corbin have that Rhyno hasn't exploited yet?
I think it comes down to experience. I think Rhino's got the experience advantage.
Oh, wow!
I don't think that has anything to do with experience.
Corbin trying to put Rhyno away and a kick out of two. Right back into the cover. And again, Rhyno stays alive. Corbin looking a little frustrated now.
Corbin's never been shy about telling everyone, I don't care how much experience you have. I don't care about these guys who have traveled around the world and learned their craft. It took me a couple years to get where I'm at. That means I'm better than those guys.
It served him well. He doesn't need to have these accolades. I mean, look at a guy like Mike Tyson. Seemingly came out of nowhere and became heavyweight champion of the world. It can happen.
Turn the question around a little bit. What kind of weaknesses do you think Corbin has found in Rhyno?
Well, apparently, well scouted.
Rhyno trying to stage a rally.
That's it.
Oh! Shoulder first into the ring steps.
That's Rhyno returning the favor a little bit to Baron Corbin.
As you were saying, is inexperience perhaps what Rhyno has found as the weakness of Corbin?
I don't know, that was just a change of momentum. That was a veteran move, taking advantage of a situation, trying to preserve himself.
Oh!
Rhyno's doing more than preserving himself now. Watch out.
Raw power. Cover. Corbin able to stay alive. Look at what Rhyno's doing, just tossing Corbin around very easily.
Oh, we've seen Corbin toss Rhyno around. We've seen Rhyno return the favor. These two are really pushing each other.
Think about the strength and how much that's going to wear you out. Both of these men. These are not small competitors by any means.
Great point. Each one of those throws, each one of those suplexes.
Wow!
Takes a little more out of the
big
offense.
Spine buster cover. Rhyno for the win and a kick out.
That spine buster had to take a lot out of Rhyno. Granted, he's in control. The negative effect was on Baron Corbin. Take a look at this. Corbin is a 270, 280-pound man. It takes a lot out of Rhyno just to perform that move.
Uh-oh, wait a minute. Rhyno had his eyes set on Corbin.
Gore! Rhyno with the gore, is that enough?
Oh,
somehow Corbin kicked out of Rhyno, can't believe it.
I can't believe it either.
Baron Corbin just kicked out of the gore.
Rhyno is in shock right now. I mean, how many superstars have we seen Rhyno put away with that gore, and somehow Baron Corbin manages to kick out?
Wants to go for a second one. Rhyno lining up Baron Corbin.
Corbin might be running on instinct at this point.
Gore number 2 on the way. Here comes Rhyno. My God, right into the end of days. Right into the end of days, is that it? Wow.
Here is your winner,
heard. Did Baron Corbin take a gore from Rhyno and within mere seconds recover just enough to deliver end of days?
The will to be the best. Baron Corbin said it for a long time. He's here to be the best and make money, and it's hard to argue with after a result like that. Look at this.
Yeah, this right here. Rhyno thought he had Corbin beat here.
Everyone thought he had it beat there.
You see that look of shock etched on the face of Rhyno. But then this is where it gets freaky. End of days. Again, just mere seconds after that gore, Baron Corbin had enough in the tank to deliver end of days to a 300-plus-pound man in Rhyno.
You don't have to like the facts. You just have to accept them. The lone wolf is going to be hard to stop. Speaking of hard to stop, we're out of here, but we're going to throw it backstage to Samoa Joe, who's got a final message for Tyler Breeze.
You know, desperation is a very, very funny thing. You see, Tyler Breeze, you are the epitome of a desperate man. Once again, you had your shot at the NXT Championship in that Battle Royal, and I knocked you out. And in your desperation, you couldn't handle it. So you unrightfully pulled me off that apron and cost me my rightful shot. And then, Tyler, in your desperation, you pulled out your selfie stick and you had the audacity to call me out. Well, Tyler, your desperation is going to get you hurt. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to pull back out that selfie stick. I want you to focus that camera real nice. I want you to shave, I want you to put in your highlights, and I want you to look the very best you can and take that picture. Because next week, when I get my hands on you, you will never look the same again.